Welcome back. You're still watching RTV News. In other news, stories making headlines globally, Russia has intensified its assault on eastern Ukraine, striking a train station packed with refugees trying to flee. At least 30 people were killed and more than 100 wounded in the attack. This comes as a new evidence of the atrocities by the Russian forces has emerged. The Russian Defense Ministry denies targeting the site. We have this report courtesy of NBC.
You're still watching RTV News. This is the moment we get to receive our guest anchor. And this time round, it's Marc Gwamaka. You saw him doing great with the news presentation. Marc, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I think you're in the wrong career, whatever you're doing. So Marc is the co-founder of Peace and Love Proclaimers. And these are the people who are actually behind the Walk to Remember. Marc himself is the founder of Walk to Remember that we've had for so many years. He works with Aegis Trust, a company that manages Kigali Genocide Memorial. He's the coordinator for international engagements and outreach. And tonight, he tells us why it is very important for young people to remember the genocide against the Tutsi. Thanks indeed for joining us.
You're welcome.
So let's go straight to why is it important for us to continue remembering what happened 28 years ago?
I think most of the times, people don't take history at heart, and they end up repeating it. So for us as a nation to go forward, we mustn't forget where we came from, but heed the lessons we got from it, so that from that we can forge the way forward. So it's important not only for the young people, but also for the grown-ups, to make sure that we pass on these, what we learned from our history, to make sure that it doesn't happen again. So we cannot say never again and then forget to remember, because it's through remembrance that we make a testament that it won't happen again.
I understand we didn't have the Walk to Remember here in the country because of the COVID-19 pandemic, but we saw the events organized across the world. This is a popular event that we've seen, especially during this time we get to remember our loved ones who perished during the genocide. If you look at, when you are, coming up with the idea of Walk to Remember and where it has come so far, did you ever imagine it would, go, this wide and bigger?
No, not really. But I don't think Walk to Remember would have become what it became without the government of Rwanda. We were young people, teenagers, thinking about changing the world. And we started where we could, which was here in Rwanda, also starting with high school students. And, the more students left Rwanda and went to other parts of the world, the more it became bigger. But also the more the government of Rwanda embraced it, then it actually made it bigger. So we never thought it would be a big thing, myself and my colleagues. But the more we kept on working on it, the bigger it became, and the more it went even global.
What does it signify?
The walk is a series of events that happen. What most people see is people walking, but we have what we call the power of image, where we go to different places and teach about the genocide against the Tutsi. And one of the most important reasons for that is because we want people to walk when they're educated and they know why they are walking. And this was mainly for young people. By the time we started, not many young people were going for Kwibuka events. But that being said, we managed to have enough young people come to these events, and the walk itself coming from where people learn about the history of the genocide, and then they go to the part where now they themselves go to mobilize other people, and then to the time that we walk, which is signifies walking from a dark past into the brighter future. But also when we get to the venue where we get to read 100 names. Now, these 100 names signify 100 days of the genocide, and each name signifies over 10,000 people who died on each day. So that brings up to 1 million people who are killed during the genocide. And then after that, we light a candle, which is a significance showing that we are embracing the future, but also which is bright. Also, the names are divided in three parts. Usually, it's the younger generation, the middle-aged generation and the older generation. The older generation was the generation that carried on positive values that guided our communities. So we remember them because when they were killing them, they were actually trying to take away the positive values that were guiding our community. The middle-aged people were the people who are working for this country. And when they are killing them, they're actually trying to take away the power of the nation at that point in time. But also when they are killing the young people, they are killing the future of Rwanda. So we light a candle for those people. Yeah.
Marc, let's talk about the young people, especially what their role in this time of remembrance. We often get to see the young people detached from, events, especially national events. May not be specifically this one, but oftentimes they drag their feet into this. Why is it so important for young people to take part? Genocide happened 28 years ago. We are recovering and we're going well, but young people still probably are not more involved in this.
I think they use not to be involved. As a matter of fact, tomorrow there is an event, Our Past, which I would encourage many people to be a part of, which was started by a young man, a group of young people. We have, other groups, for example, 100 Children Survivors, Dukundane, IRG, and many other groups actually who do very many activities. Maybe a few activities have gotten on the national level, but what is now happening is young people are owning Kwibuka, and they're becoming creative in making sure that they learn the history. Probably there might be few who are not there, but just like any healthy community, there'll be people who will be slow. And I think with the time, they're also going to bring them. So I don't see young people laying back. Maybe what we need to do now is how do we equip them with more knowledge? And that is not only a call for the young who know what to do, but it's also a call for anyone who knows more about history to make sure that these young people know exactly what they're going to do. And for those who are not doing it, I might say you're lagging behind for no reason, because this is our history, so why wouldn't you want to be involved, you see? But I know for sure that it is improving as the years go by.
Do you have any message for the young people in addition to what you just said?
Sure. For the young people, what I would say to you is that there are things that we need to work on. One, we need to be critical thinkers. We've heard before people saying that they were told to do and they did. But for you, I'd urge you to be a critical thinker so that you make your own choices. But you also have to have empathy. If they did the same to you, how would you feel? So have empathy towards the other. And then lastly, you should be responsible. Be responsible for your actions, be responsible for what you do, be responsible for your life now so that you can also prepare the better future. So be responsible by joining Kwibuka.
Marc Gwamaka, PRP co-founder, founder of Walk to Remember, the coordinator for international engagements and outreach at Aegis Trust. And thanks for your time indeed.
Thank you for hosting me.
And that brings us to the end of tonight's edition with me and my guest anchor, Marc Gwamaka, until on the rest of the entire news production team. Many thanks for your company tonight. Kwibuka, Kwibuka. Remember, unite, renew.